Hey guys, and welcome to my game, Rats versus Squirrels. This is the squirrel, the rats being the bad guys, and the squirrels being the good guys. But either way, they're meant to be they're equally skilled as each other. So at this moment of time, one of my core elements is that if you are playing as a rat, which this character is meant to be, he has the rat shotgun. Um, your not your objectives are to collect the cheese scattered around the map, as well as fight off any enemies that are within proximity. So for example, let's say I'm a squirrel right now. There would be rats here. My character gets to a 45-degree angle. The pawn sensing senses the character direction, and then it will start following me. I've only set it to 40, 20, 25, 25-degree angle. So as with trial and error, I realized 90, even 45 is too much. They literally don't stop running after you. So I changed it to 25. Now, most of the time I spent was fixing the character using the gun in third person, because in the third person character template, it doesn't come with a gun. So through the animation sequences and one of my assets into the game, polished up, and what it does is, because I've changed the camera boom, to have it fixed on the guy, on the squirrel's shoulder or the rat's shoulder, whatever you're playing. Unfortunately, one major problem I came into that I was unable to have my actual projectiles to input in the code. So what I did was I used a particle system instead, but unfortunately, particle systems aren't registering as a projectile. That's why I'm unable to kill the enemy. Um, all the assets I've made myself, and so this is the cheese I was talking about. They rotate on the map. They should have a light. I don't know why it's not there, but if you collect it, after you collect all 5, you should be able to finish the game. So I'll come back and talk about the code, as you can see from my mouse if it's hovering. But obviously, since I don't have the time, I'll first off, I started with for my third person character. I wanted to get the aiming working. So by doing this, I had to make a lot of variables and pawns and booleans. So for example, I'll start off with this one by changing one of my inputs. I had to make a variable, a function. Yeah, sorry, a function short for aim down sight. So with this, if when I toggle it, if it's true, then the target will stop aiming down the sight, and if it's true, it will start aiming down the sight. A pretty simple one. Okay, so here's the code. So when I start it, if it has authority, then the game also worked. Just a quick little side note: the game I was following wasn't really made for just a third-person shooter. It was more of a multiplayer third-person shooter. So potentially I'm able to play the game with multiple screens and control both screens at the same time. So it's essentially, I've made a multiplayer third-person shooter. I'll show how that works in the end. So anyways, so the character, if it's the server and not the host, you'll go to set, and then if it's checked on true, it will follow the camera, and then it will move with the camera. Same thing, opposite thing basically for stop. Skeletal mesh. Oh, this is just to add the mesh to the socket. So with the bone system, I just connected my right hand, and it looks like he's actually holding a gun, compared to how it was before, where it was just flat on the floor. So the event tick, obviously the event tick is always running, which the more you have, where if you go to a wall, your character is able to go through the wall. The camera will go through the wall. However, with all of this, I'm able to look down the sight, or when the camera turns around, the basically the mesh will go invisible until the camera's done its rotation, and then the character will come back. This is so you're unable to see the mesh. It looks more professional this way. So here's just if a button is pressed. So if my right button is pressed, I'll aim down the sight, and if it's released, I let go. Camera aim. This was a lot of work. I made a lot of mistakes on this. Thankfully, I managed to get it in the end. So if it's the main character, and the host is seeing what's he able to see, this will all go through, and then the character will be able to aim properly without any problems. And then the start fire, which by using the aim vector variable, this is how I was able to implement the bullet. Unfortunately, I can't change it to a BP, a blueprint of like a mesh, so I'm gonna have to try to fix that in the future. This is pawn sensing. When the character looks at me, or it's in the direction of the cone, it'll start following me. Just simple as that. So first of all, sorry about the flickering. I don't know why it's doing that. Currently, the left screen is the client screen, so that would be the screen I'm on, and the server screen would be all the other multiplayer people currently online who are playing the game. So this is what it looks with the first normal map. So with the normal map, it's I used a lot of fiber mesh because I was trying to implement, because I was unable to find a trial or something, a trial to test it out. So anyways, here's it with gloss, then albedo. So this is where all the color comes in, you know, retaining its rat-like colors, however without metalness. There we go, it looks more natural there now, with its more brown skin and the fiber mesh tones, and with the pink hands and legs and the pink tail. Obviously Ratz, because my oh yeah, I'm sorry, ambient occlusion. Finally, my last mesh, which is the shotgun for the rat. I thought I'd use metalness again because for a gun it's a lot more convenient to use. So first I'll go around with the normal map. Because he's a custom rat, he got a custom shotgun, the leader. Here it says Cheesy Boy, you know, because the rats like cheese. I got pictures of some cheese here, and then his initials over here, CB, Cheesy Boy. I'll show you again in with some color. So let me just apply the gloss first. There we go. I thought the handle and the pump gauge shouldn't be as glossy as the rest of the mesh. Just for personal preferences, so I could add more like yellow variations as you'll see in the albedo. So now you can see all the color come out. It looks like with the yellows and oranges, I thought of orange over like a different tone of red because I thought of, you know, what's it's the crisp for reference, and I just thought it'd be a good color to add. And then on the back he has like these red marks that he made, as in his kill count, and I chose red just because it looked cool. Metalness, there we go. Before it was too shiny, and the metalness is just there to, you know, just change, equal everything out. It's all about balance, and that's it. Last but not least, it's the cheese asset. There's not much to this, it's just a little cheese asset. I used booleans instead of a normal map. Maybe I should next time I'm going to use a normal map. But this is just there's two potentials that it could be. It could either be the rat will pick up cheese in the game, or the gun's projectile would be shooting out cheese. It wouldn't make much sense as rats like cheese, so it wouldn't make sense them shooting it, but it's my game, I can do whatever I like. So thank you for watching. I hope I can get some good marks from this. Thank you, goodbye.